Afternoon class, my name is Hunter Clay. I'm a sophomore mechanical engineering major, and today I'm talking about the enhancement of virtual reality. That was our topic, and our subtopic, which I'll be talking about today, is using virtual reality to train engineers. First of all, I want to give you a little background of virtual reality and the initial view of it from everybody from the outside. People think most of it is used for video games and for people who are very into tech or into building video games, which is actually wrong. It is used for that, but it is more used for using to train people and building the horizon for people who build things. Now, this is great because engineers of today are getting a way better learning curve than engineers of the past. It started in 1990 with NASA creating the tool called the VIEW, which is the Visual Environment Workstation. And this was the first real look at virtual reality to the world, which was a big old headset that covered your eyes. It gave you the virtual reality view. You could hear. And you had two things to hold up like this here to move your hand around to work yourself in the virtual reality world. Virtual reality is a new world. It brings you into new worlds. It can bring you to the Sahara Desert or a workstation or working on a plant. And it can bring you anywhere you want it to set it to be, which is great. So you can learn in any environment. And teaching, this is a new way of teaching because you could actually dive into what you're doing and actually get in there to whatever state you want to be in, the actual building or actual work you're doing or whatever you're creating, you could actually be there inside of it, working it and put it in the right places. Why virtual reality training? Why virtual reality training? Because the cost of damages. Companies go through a lot of money throughout every year because of damages or mistakes on the job from their employees. We're using virtual reality by paying this money paying the money, which is not too expensive, which is not too cheap for virtual reality, but having that train your new employees or your new people on the job will cut down on the back end of the damages they might cause because they'll be more prepared for any situation or anything that would happen on the job with the very expensive equipment. Now, this is great for companies. That's why they're investing into training in the virtual way. Now, the risk attempts are very low because it's virtual. So they can go train, and take tests in the virtual world over and over again until they get it right. So whenever they get on the job, they know how to do it perfectly. Our first method of teaching is simulation teaching. And simulation teaching is basically situational. Aviation uses a lot to train their new pilots. So they go through many tests to see how they would react in certain situations. And this brings critical thinking to the forefront because they'll be put into 10 situations of a plane's crashing, how to handle that. They go down or their partner goes down to see how they would handle it, working the cockpit by themselves. Now, this is a great way in my eyes, because using this with engineers, you can put them in high-risk situations or high-risk times on the job where they have to do this they have to change this and change that and change this while staying focused. While there's somebody breathing down the neck or it's a very heated situation, and they have to do this to be able to survive and for the company to survive and this equipment to survive. So this is a great way for them to use it. The second method is analyzation teaching. And first off, analyzation teaching will be able to let you get into the actual object, which you can do in simulation, but this will let you get into a solid object and be able to go inside the object, see the inner parts of the object on the outside and see the object. Now, the students at the University of Michigan have a room, which is a virtual reality room, where they're able to put on all the gear and be able to actually work inside of a structure that could be 13 feet high and about maybe a ton. So it's very heavy. So there's no way of you actually manually moving it. With virtual reality, you're able to go in there and look at each intricate part and work with it and play with it and see how it would work. For you could tell people who are putting it together how to actually do it and the steps to take, which is a great learning curve for the engineers to know how to do it, and it makes it easier in production. It puts you into what you're about to do. Okay, the next step for virtual reality is advancing software, because the software now is great, but it could be so much better. It could be so much better. And that's just by the visual looks from the lighting, how things move, for it can move more like we move every day, how I'm moving now. Like they want it to be that real. So when you put the goggles on, it's really not a change. It's just a different atmosphere, just a different environment, and that's enhancing the realness already. Because if you can see me move like this on a pair of goggles and think it's not TV, but actually interact with me, that is just the next level right there. And we're getting there. We're there, but we're there with virtual reality, but we just want to make it better and make it better because there's always room for improvement. And then after that, we need to bring it to the world. After improving itself, we need to bring it to the world and bring it to every company and every job, because training virtually will make everybody's mistakes go down by a lot, like a lot. Everybody's mistakes will go down because they'll have more training in situations they haven't seen before in the virtual training. It won't even phase them because they've been put through so many situations. Now you can do this on a regular job with people that are older teaching, that have been through teaching it, but a person's first-hand knowledge and first-hand experience is always better because that's what they have to do. And thank you for your time, and this was